Motorcycle prices are climbing fast in 2025, but not all of them. Right now, smart riders are picking up used bikes with serious value for under $2,500. From cruisers to street fighters, these 15 bikes prove budget rides still pack a punch. And stick around, because the price of the last bike on this list will seriously blow your mind. Number 15. Honda Rebel 250. If there's one small cruiser that has stood the test of time with older riders and beginners alike, it's the Rebel 250. This motorcycle has served as the entry point into cruiser culture for decades. In terms of specs, it produces approximately 16 horsepower from its 234 cubic centimeter air-cooled twin-cylinder engine with peak torque measured around 12 pound-feet. It features a front disc and rear drum brakes, conventional telescopic front forks, and twin rear shocks. The wet weight comes in at 329 pounds, and the seat height is just 26.6 inches. As of the year 2025, clean used examples regularly sell for under $2,500. Riding the Rebel 250 feels familiar even if it's your first bike. The relaxed posture, soft suspension, and low center of gravity make it one of the most forgiving motorcycles to learn on. But this isn't just a learner's tool, it's a cruiser with real charm. Riders who have put thousands of miles on this platform will tell you it's reliable, consistent, and capable of far more than its displacement would suggest. Fuel economy is strong, maintenance is minimal, and the platform is supported by decades of parts availability. Whether you're returning to riding after a long break or simply want a trustworthy second bike, the Rebel 250 earns its reputation every time it starts on the first try. If cruisers are your thing, just wait until you see the sportier rides we found for the same price. Number 14. Yamaha Vstar 250. For riders who want a classic V-twin feel in a compact and manageable package, the Vstar 250 delivers. It might be lightweight, but it offers the visual punch and road presence that cruiser riders crave. This machine generates 21 horsepower from a 249 cubic centimeter air-cooled V-twin engine. Paired with 15 pound-feet of torque braking, is handled by a front disc and rear drum system, while the suspension setup includes conventional front forks and dual rear shocks. The wet weight is reported at 324 pounds, and the seat height rests at 27 inches. In the year 2025, used units are commonly available for under $2,500 in good running condition. The Vstar 250 is ideal for new riders who want something with more cruiser character than a typical parallel twin. It has enough torque to keep up with local highway speeds, yet remains composed and easy to handle in city traffic. The slim tank and low stance make it feel even smaller than it is, which builds confidence at stop signs and parking lots. Despite its entry-level badge, this motorcycle carries the kind of finish and build quality Yamaha is known for. It's a no-frills machine, which in this case is a benefit. Maintenance is easy, parts are plentiful, and the riding position is neutral enough for longer weekend outings. Are you looking for a budget-friendly ride that still delivers? Like, subscribe and comment below to find out more about the incredible motorcycles you can snag for under $2,500. Need something with even more attitude but half the size? The next one's got mini bike charm and major street cred. Number 13. Honda Grom Clone. At first glance, you might think you're looking at a Honda Grom, but these Grom-style clones, like the Boom Vader, SSR Razkol, or Ice Bear Fuerza, offer much of the same fun at a fraction of the cost. While names may vary, most of these machines are powered by a 125 cubic centimeter air-cooled single-cylinder engine, producing between 8 and 10 horsepower with torque hovering around 8 pound-feet. Braking is typically front and rear disc, with basic telescopic forks and a single rear shock. They weigh in around 225 pounds wet and come with a seat height close to 30 inches. Even brand new, these bikes can be found for under $2,000 in 2025. What makes these clones worth a second look is the sheer amount of fun packed into a small frame. They're light, easy to toss into corners, and cheap enough that you won't mind pushing them to the limit. Whether you're running errands or just playing around in a parking lot, these bikes invite smiles from both the rider and onlookers. While they lack the factory polish of their Honda counterpart, many owners upgrade suspension, lights, and engine components thanks to an active aftermarket scene. For older riders looking for a low-cost, low-stress way to get back in the saddle, or simply add a quirky runabout to the garage, These mini street fighters are a solid pick. But if you'd rather stick to name brands with a dirt-friendly edge, the next one delivers exactly that. Everything we recommend, helmets, gloves, jackets, it's all linked below. Built for the road, not the showroom. Number 12. Kawasaki KLX 125 and Suzuki DRZ 125. There is something refreshing about a motorcycle that just does what it is supposed to do. No complications, no digital fluff, no distractions. That is exactly the spirit behind both the KLX 125 and the DRZ 125. Each bike is powered by a small displacement air-cooled single-cylinder engine displacing 124 cubic centimeters. Horsepower typically hovers around 11, with torque coming in at approximately 7 pound-feet. Stopping power is handled by a front disc brake and rear drum setup. Both bikes ride on long-travel conventional telescopic front forks and a single rear monoshock. Depending on condition and modifications, the wet weight ranges from 194 to 200 pounds, and the seat height measures roughly 31.7 inches. In the used market, clean units regularly show up for prices well below $2,500. While neither machine is street legal out of the box, that is exactly the point. These bikes are not here to impress anyone at a traffic light. They are here to take punishment in the dirt, fire up every time, and teach new riders the fundamentals of throttle control, balance, and confidence. Both the KLX and the DRZ are famously easy to kickstart and require minimal mechanical knowledge to keep running. In many parts of the country, they have become the unofficial go-to bikes for ranch hands, teenage trail riders, and even adult beginners rediscovering off-road fun. From dirt to pavement, the next machine proves that classic commuter bikes never go out of style. Number 11. Honda CB250 Nighthawk. Before riding became a lifestyle brand, before digital dashboards and keyless ignitions, motorcycles were judged by one thing: how reliably they got you from point A to point B. The Nighthawk was built during that era and still carries its honest, no-drama legacy into the used market. It is powered by a 234 cubic centimeter air-cooled parallel twin engine, producing approximately 16 horsepower and 14 pound-feet of torque. It uses a front disc and rear drum braking system, paired with conventional front forks and twin shock absorbers in the rear. The bike weighs in at around 315 pounds wet, with a low seat height of 29.3 inches. In the current used market, well-maintained examples are commonly available for under $2,500. What makes the Nighthawk stand out is its balance between beginner accessibility and long-term usefulness. It is smooth, forgiving, and neutral in every sense, an ideal platform for building confidence. The upright riding position and soft suspension make it comfortable for short trips, longer commutes, or even weekend two-up rides with light luggage. It is also one of the easiest motorcycles to learn maintenance on, with simple carburetors, straightforward valve adjustments, and minimal electronic interference. And if you are craving something with a little cafe racer energy, we have got just the ticket next. Number 10. Suzuki TU250X. If you ever wished for a bike that looked like it rolled straight out of a 1960s motorcycle catalog, but still started up on cold mornings with modern fuel injection, you are not alone. And the TU250X was built for riders just like you. At its core is a 249 cubic centimeter air-cooled single-cylinder engine, producing 16 horsepower and 12.8 pound-feet of torque. Braking is handled by a front disc and rear drum setup, and the suspension includes a standard telescopic front fork with twin shock absorbers at the rear. The TU250X weighs 326 pounds wet and features a seat height of 30.3 inches. On the used market, it consistently appears under $2,500, depending on condition and mileage. The TU250X is not trying to be a performance machine. What it offers instead is smooth, steady power delivery, excellent fuel economy, and a riding position that feels instantly natural. Its styling includes spoked wheels, chrome accents, a teardrop tank, and round mirrors that channel the spirit of simpler motorcycle times. This is the kind of bike that gets smiles from strangers at gas stations and nods from older riders who remember when motorcycles looked like this by default. And yet, beneath the style lies a surprisingly practical machine that is as easy to own as it is to ride. Let us head from the city streets to the trails, because this next one is built to get dirty. Number 9. Yamaha XT225/TW200. There are some motorcycles that earn their reputation the hard way, mile after mile, trail after trail, without ever complaining. That is exactly what riders find in the XT225 and the TW200. The XT225 is powered by a 223 cubic centimeter single-cylinder engine producing 19 horsepower and 15 pound-feet of torque, while the TW200 comes equipped with a 196 cubic centimeter engine generating 16 horsepower and 11 pound-feet of torque. Both bikes utilize a 5-speed manual transmission, front and rear drum or disc braking depending on the model year, and feature long travel suspension tuned for light trail and dual-purpose use. The TW200's massive tires give it a tractor-like grip on mud and sand, while the XT225 offers a slimmer, more traditional profile. The TW200 weighs approximately 278 pounds with a seat height of 31.1 inches, while the XT225 comes in lighter at 238 pounds with a slightly higher seat at 31.9 inches. Both bikes have seen starting prices under $2,500 on the used market in 2025. These machines are not about electronics or high-speed performance. They are about getting you where you need to go, regardless of the terrain. Whether you are commuting, exploring, or just working your land, they start easily, handle well, and ask for very little in return. Need a bike that's street legal but doesn't cost a fortune? This next pick punches way above its weight class. Number 8. Lifan KP200. Sometimes the best motorcycle is not the loudest or flashiest. It is the one that gets you where you are going, comfortably and affordably, with just the right mix of style and substance. That is exactly what the KP200 delivers. The KP200 features a 198 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine that produces 16 horsepower and 13.6 pound-feet of torque-stopping power. Comes from front and rear disc brakes with a combined braking system. Suspension duties are handled by upside-down front forks and a monoshock rear setup. The bike weighs 282 pounds wet and offers a seat height of 31.2 inches, striking a balance between sporty ergonomics and everyday comfort. In the year 2025, this motorcycle is available brand new in some U.S. states for as low as $2,195, while lightly used models are often listed for under $2,500 nationwide. Its sharp tank shrouds, aggressive headlight profile, and full-color digital display make it look more expensive than it is. Add in its lightweight agility, respectable low-end torque, and ease of maintenance, and you have a solid machine that works well for commuting, short-distance touring, or simply weekend fun. For riders who want sport bike styling without the typical sport bike compromises, the KP200 is a sleeper hit that continues to quietly earn respect. But what if you want big bike looks without the big bike problems? The next cruiser gets close. Number 7. Hyung GV225. Every once in a while, a motorcycle slips through the cracks, offering all the styling cues of a larger displacement cruiser at a fraction of the cost. That is exactly what riders get with the GV225. It is one of those rare entry-level machines that actually looks the part of a classic V-twin cruiser without sacrificing comfort or composure. The GV225 is powered by a 249 cubic centimeter air-cooled V-twin engine producing 28 horsepower and 16.7 pound-feet of torque. It uses a 5-speed manual transmission, front and rear disc brakes, and a standard telescopic fork and twin rear shock suspension system. It weighs 375 pounds wet and has a low seat height of 27 inches, making it ideal for riders who prefer a planted, feet flat at a stop experience. In 2025, clean used examples of the GV225 are consistently available on the market for under $2,500. What makes this bike stand out isn't just the specs, it is the way it presents itself. The teardrop tank, chrome exhaust pipes, and stretched riding position offer the aesthetic and ride feel of a more premium cruiser without the financial burden or physical intimidation. It is well balanced, easy to ride, and requires little more than regular oil changes and basic upkeep to stay running for years. Now let's take a step into supermoto territory with a street machine that feels like a stunt bike. Number 6. SSR. XF250. There is something unapologetically fun about a motorcycle that doesn't pretend to be more than it is. The XF250 is exactly that kind of machine, raw, direct, and always ready for mischief. It is powered by a 249 cubic centimeter air-cooled single-cylinder engine that delivers 24 horsepower and 16 pound-feet of torque. Braking is handled by a front and rear disc brake setup with stainless steel rotors. The bike uses a telescopic front fork and a rear monoshock suspension to provide stable control and solid damping across mixed terrain. With a dry weight of 297 pounds and a seat height of 34 inches, the XF250 feels tall and light, just like a proper supermoto should. Priced at $1,999 brand new in the year 2025, it stays well below budget while offering an aggressive stance and responsive ride. One of the biggest advantages of the XF250 is that it borrows heavily from a category of motorcycles known for sharp geometry and urban flickability. It thrives in environments where nimble reaction and confident traction are more valuable than raw power. The ergonomics are straightforward, and the overall frame is rugged enough to take daily abuse with a shrug. For the right kind of rider, it delivers joy in pure mechanical form. No electronics, no distractions, just throttle, lean, and grip. That kind of riding may not be for everyone, but for those who get it, there is no substitute. Speaking of fun, the next one is an off-road legend that refuses to die. Number 5. Honda XR200R. Dependability is a word thrown around far too casually in the motorcycle world, but in the case of the XR200, it is entirely justified. This bike has earned its place in off-road history thanks to one thing: it just works. It has a 197 cubic centimeter air-cooled single-cylinder engine producing 17 horsepower and 13 pound-feet of torque. It uses a front disc brake paired with a rear drum and features a telescopic front fork and dual rear shocks for long travel suspension. The bike weighs 257 pounds wet and has a seat height of 34.3 inches. In 2025, well-kept used models can be found for under $2,500 across many local markets. Everything about the XR200R screams old-school simplicity. There are no electronic rider aids, no fuel injection, and no touchscreen displays. What you get instead is a bulletproof trail bike with just enough power to climb hills, cruise gravel roads, and handle light commuting when needed. What makes the XR200R so beloved is its versatility. Riders have used it to explore backwoods trails, commute on dusty roads, and even teach their kids how to ride. It has a neutral riding stance that works well for both short and tall riders, and its low-end torque makes it forgiving in tight or slippery conditions. From off-road power to highway stealth, the next one is the dark horse of the list. Number 4. Kawasaki Ninja 250. Some motorcycles manage to walk the line between performance and approachability better than others. The Ninja 250 is one of those rare machines that gives new riders the confidence to learn while offering just enough performance to stay exciting. It is powered by a 249 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled parallel twin engine that puts out 28 horsepower, and 19 pound-feet of torque. Braking duties are handled by front and rear disc brakes with dual piston calipers. It rides on telescopic front forks and a rear monoshock and tips the scales at 375 pounds wet. Seat height measures 30.5 inches, and in 2025, early models from before 2013 are widely available for between $2,000 and $2,500. The Ninja 250's real charm is its balance. It does not overwhelm new riders with power, yet it does not bore experienced riders either. The 6-speed transmission is smooth, the throttle is predictable, and the suspension is just stiff enough to offer real cornering feedback. On a winding back road, this motorcycle rewards good technique with tight lines and real control. On a freeway, it can keep pace with traffic without straining its engine. For older riders returning to the saddle or looking for a lighter alternative to heavier cruisers, the Ninja 250 is often overlooked, but that is a mistake. It is nimble, dependable, and surprisingly roomy for a sport-style bike. Want something even more aggressive but newer and still street legal? Check this out. Number 3. CFMO 150NK and 300NK. If you have ever wanted a lightweight street fighter that punches well above its price, the 150NK and 300NK deserve your attention. These bikes are two of the best-kept secrets in the budget motorcycle world, quietly earning respect for their modern styling, quality components, and surprisingly refined ride. Both the 150NK and 300NK use liquid-cooled single-cylinder engines, with the larger version producing 29 horsepower from a 292 cubic centimeter layout and 19 pound-feet of torque. The smaller variant delivers a bit less, but both include a front and rear disc braking system with anti-lock braking system standard, inverted front forks, and a rear monoshock suspension that soaks up city bumps surprisingly well. The 300NK weighs in at 333 pounds with a seat height of 30.7 inches, while the 150NK comes in even lighter. Starting prices for lightly used units in good condition are typically around $2,100, placing them well under budget for most buyers in 2025. Don't miss out on these amazing deals. Hit like, subscribe, and comment below to let us know which bike caught your eye and if you're ready to take one for a spin. The next bike on this list proves that simple designs never go out of style, especially when they still deliver real-world performance. Number 2. Suzuki GS500F. Sometimes the smartest motorcycle in the room is also the one nobody's talking about. That is exactly the case with this forgotten middleweight. This is a no-nonsense sport bike that delivers balanced handling, real-world comfort, and enough highway capability to satisfy riders of all experience levels. It has an air-cooled 4-stroke parallel twin engine that produces 51 horsepower from a 487 cubic centimeter displacement and 40 pound-feet of torque. It uses a front and rear disc braking system and a traditional telescopic front fork paired with a preload adjustable rear monoshock. The wet weight comes in at around 453 pounds and the seat height is 31.1 inches. In 2025, it is easy to find well-maintained examples listed for between $2,000 and $2,500, often with aftermarket accessories included. The riding position is relaxed, but still forward enough to give you a sporty feel. It is not cramped, not overly aggressive, and certainly not intimidating. Whether you are winding through traffic or taking on backroad curves, the GS500F keeps things predictable and smooth. It is one of those bikes that gives you confidence even when pushing a little harder into the corners or cruising at freeway speeds for an hour at a time. And finally, if you are searching for the cruiser that does it all, there is one left on this list that might just be the best buy of the decade. Number 1. Honda Shadow 600VLX. There are good used bikes, and then there are bikes like the Shadow, machines that combine soul, durability, and cruiser style in one unforgettable package. This bike has been winning over riders for decades thanks to its smooth V-twin, low-slung design, and unmistakable road presence. It is powered by a liquid-cooled 60-degree V-twin engine that displaces 583 cubic centimeters and produces 39 horsepower and 34 pound-feet of torque. It features a front disc brake and rear drum brake setup, standard telescopic front suspension, and dual shock absorbers in the rear. The wet weight comes in at 500 pounds flat, and the seat height is a comfortably low 27.2 inches. In 2025, solid examples can be found nationwide for just over $1,500 in excellent riding condition. What makes this cruiser stand out is not just the specs, it is the riding experience. Twist the throttle and you get a deep, smooth pull from the engine. The gearing is tall and relaxed, perfect for long-distance cruising or local coffee runs. It has that old-school character that Harley riders appreciate, without the complexity or the price tag. It sounds like a bigger bike, rides like a heavier machine, but remains easy to handle thanks to its low center of gravity and simple ergonomics. Whether you're a first-time buyer or just looking for a solid, affordable ride, these motorcycles prove you don't have to break the bank. Like, subscribe, and comment to stay updated on more awesome, budget-friendly bike options.